Hi everyone, welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. And before we get started, I just want to send out a special shout out to our bud Dan Walsh, who's not here anymore, not working with us anymore, but he was really on the ground floor of this program and got us started, and really we wouldn't be here without him. And
well, it was his idea.
You know, and even though he's a Nebraska fan, you know,
I wanted to send
you really
him an
wanted
email.
to talk to him today, didn't you?
I really did. I miss him a lot for the most part. His innovative ideas when it coming up to great ideas with this show. He was very instrumental in doing that. But watching Nebraska get beat up by Wisconsin was awesome.
Yeah. So Dan, we miss you.
Yeah.
Week 5 in the NFL.
Yeah.
So here we go. You know, I don't know what more you can say or what superlatives you can give for Aaron Rodgers' performance on Sunday.
Well, I think people will keep telling me, is he in a zone? No, this is what he expects to do. I've seen his progression over the last 3 years, and I think for the most part, it's easy to him in his mind because he can come up with ways to extend plays. He can come up with ways to be in the pocket. I think what you're starting to see, Tom, is a new wave quarterback. I think when Michael Vick first came out, that was the motto, you know, first guy getting 1,000 yards and throwing for 2,000 yards. But with Aaron Rodgers, the new thing now is have a 100 rating. I mean, his rating is always tends to be over 100.
4 straight games.
And the thing about it, he doesn't throw interceptions. When it happens, it seems like you're shocked. And moving forward, his mechanics are so good. I think if you're a young quarterback and you think you want to be like somebody, Aaron Rodgers is your guy. I mean, let's go back for a minute. Didn't get a scholarship, had to go to junior college. You know, he's not the prototypical 6'5", you know, 250-pound quarterback, which you like. I mean, he's a normal guy. And the one thing I like about him, he distributes the ball where the defense wants, you know, he'll just go with the defense. And he always finds an open guy. So to me, there is a huge, and I feel sorry for people in the NFC. They had to contend with Brett Favre for 16 years. Now you got to do that with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, it's the same. It's like Montana and Steve Young. You know,
right.
Just coming.
But I got a
one
question.
After the other.
I got a question for you, real quick, about Aaron Rodgers. When Brett Favre was 28 years old, won a championship, yada yada. Who was the best at 28 years old?
Well, this is your show. You
I'm
answer that
asking you,
question.
because you've seen these guys.
You played with Brett.
Yeah, I won a championship there, but to me, they both add something that every quarterback should have. The moxie of, when I take the field, I expect to win.
Right.
And that's what I love about it.
I think 2 different quarterbacks in a big way. And the biggest is, you know, Donald Driver referenced this, is that, you know, Favre made forced plays. He forced big plays to be made. You know, he put it on his wide receivers that, okay, I'm going to put it to you. You better catch it, you know, because it's going to be a big play. And, you know, they ran up a lot of big points because of that. And they also, you know, threw a lot of interceptions. Rodgers is more, I'd say, a technician. You know, he's going to pick you apart. You know, a surgeon. Right. And
I will say this, Tom, to close it out. I've studied him, a lot of film, Aaron Rodgers. It's throws that he is making. Nobody can make those throws, including Tom Brady. If you freeze frame the windows at which his trajectory of he's putting these balls, not a lot of quarterbacks will have enough guts to even try these throws.
And not with that accuracy. That's probably
exactly
the big thing there. Here's an issue I just want to touch on real quickly. A lot of people are concerned that Clay Matthews only has 1 sack. Should they be concerned?
No, it's a long season. I mean, he's going to have 13, 14 sacks. I mean, sometimes at times he has 3 guys on it. And I'm not making excuses for Clay, but I will say this. If you understand football, nobody's getting a lot of sacks around the league. I mean, it's one of these things. There's a quarterback-driven league. He's going to find his niche, and he's going to have a coming out party. He's going to get 3 or 4 sacks in one game, and he's going to do his little sack thing. So I wouldn't worry at all. I will say this, 2 areas that he's improved. He's improved at playing the run better and in coverage. So to me, you know, Matthews is becoming a complete linebacker, not just a guy going after the quarterback. So in that retrospect, I think he's having a hell of a year.
I see him playing with the same fury and same hustle, but I wonder if this thigh injury has taken a little bit of speed from him, a little bit of explosion around the corner, because you know, last year they didn't say much about that shin injury he had, and it was pretty bad, and he's not practicing on Wednesdays.
I don't want him to practice. I want him to be fresh.
I wonder if that's just taken a split second off.
It might, and when you associate Clay Matthews, you associate violence and as a great motor. He's smart. And the sack that Bishop got caused by Matthews. So he's a team guy. He understands it's a long season, and he's gonna get double-digit sacks. So I have nothing to worry about.
Okay, let's talk about Morgan Burnett. You know, obviously we're talking about a position that you played in high school.
Yeah.
Really, he's got tough shoes to fill with Nick Collins.
Yeah.
But let's face it, you know, he's got to play the position. He's the starter now. He's got to make plays. What went wrong on Sunday?
Well, he's a playmaker. He's looking to make plays. Every time it's a ball on the ground, he's going to be there. If it's an interception, he's going to have an opportunity to get that. With that being said, in space, he's not very good right now. I think that's going to take time to develop. Remember, now he missed a lot of games last year. Now, teams are going to target him down the field. You know, they had a flea flicker play, and for some reason, a coaching point to him. If you're running what we call a flea flicker, when the running back is running and pitch it back to the quarterback, never come up. You can't make that play.
Yeah.
So where are you going?
Why are you up there?
Yeah, slow to go.
Right.
You know, be slow to go. Remember, safety means safety. So with that being said, it was a situation Brandon Lloyd split, and we're going to talk about that in X's and O's. Don't miss that.
One of those plays that both he and Pepram
he has to understand that his talent is not being a hitter, but a tackler.
Right.
And not only that, he's a playmaker, and he's been out of position because he's always looking for the big play. So I think it seems to this point the coaches are okay with it.
Well, I think he'll get a lot of schooling this week. Don Capers was pretty clear yesterday that, you know, Burnett has to clean that up. Let's go to briefly. They're playing the Atlanta Falcons Sunday night, and this is a revenge game for Atlanta and for Matt Ryan. You know, that interception he threw to Tremont Williams has probably been hanging with him all off season. So, you know, what do you expect in this game?
Well, he's a very good quarterback at home, Matt Ryan, but there's no more Matty Ice stuff, okay? All that cool and calm, collected thing. Because in that playoff game, I mean, he showed something that he can't make all the throws.
Yeah.
This defense is one of the Packers secondary right now, statistically, is not very good. So in his eyes, that's the reason why they moved up to get Julio Jones from Alabama. Big, tall wide receiver.
Fast, good deep threat.
So if I'm Atlanta, I stand up and throw him the ball against Sam Shields all day and make him tackle him.
Right.
I would just get the ball to my receivers and not try to do too much. When they get behind, and Micah Turner is not a factor, when it's all on Matt Ryan, he can't complete that yet. Now Aaron Rodgers can. Aaron Rodgers is so good, he's going over a deficient secondary. You know, the protection's not all there, and a running back that's so-so. Matt Ryan can't do that right now.
Okay, so we'll also look at an Atlanta play with Michael Turner. And now we're going to do our Twitter question of the week.
Let's check that out.
And it comes from BJNG. I'm not sure how you
we'll just say Ben.
That, but anyways, he asks about James Starks. He shows some promise. Yeah. What do you think's going on with James Starks? Well, now he had good, decent numbers. He's averaging 4.7 yards a carry.
And he'll get better with that. But here's an opportunity with Grant not being in there for him to play the whole game. Now, what you saw was two different backs. Against Chicago, East and West, you know, jumping around, dancing. Last week, you know, against Denver, North and South, ran with violence and vengeance. So I will say this, he's a big guy. He's going to wear defenses down. And if I'm anybody out there, I got to be happy with what he did against Denver. And he's going to build off of that. James Starks is a guy I would love on my team because he has the right attitude.
Okay. All right, well, that wraps it up for 5 questions with LeRoy Butler. And you got some
Yeah,
things?
it's Breast Cancer Month, so again, hug your daughters, mothers, aunts, and things of that nature. If you're in the Milwaukee area, we got a big black tie event. Do you have a black tie? Don't answer that.
No.
We have a black tie event. It's for breast cancer. It's the LeRoy Butler Foundation. You can go to lbf36.org. Again, thanks to Syndics Market, Ballestary owned and operated, for helping us, and W.J. Kuhn Automotive Center in Oak Creek.
And stay tuned for X's and O's.